Hey everyone, this is SM Pratt, and today we're going to take a look at the Pokemon Scream promo cards. These are some of the best looking cards in the hobby, so we're going to go through each one and talk about their rarity, their release, what makes them unique and exciting, and then we're going to do the same for some other modern Japanese promos. Majority of these were never released in English, so I'm just going to give you a quick overview and show you some of the modern options that are out there to collect. So let's go ahead and get started with the first of the Scream promos. Psyduck is the first of the 5 at number 286. Then we have Eevee, Pikachu, Mimikyu, and then Rowlet. And you probably noticed right away what Pokemon's trying to achieve. They're paying homage to that historic painting. I think it's so well known that majority of the viewers instantly recognize that Scream figure in the foreground, the bridge. I think this is just a worldwide piece of history. It's been dubbed the modern Mona Lisa. But more importantly, this is just a beyond expectations crossover. I mean, it's fitting that Mario Pikachu's in the background because that was a successful crossover by Pokemon. Here is just another one that just exceeds all expectations. So not only do you have this quality crossover design, each card is done by a different artist. So Psyduck was done by Komiya. I really like Komiya's style. There's just something about that abstract design. It just looks like art to me. There's my highbrow critique. It just looks like art to me. But I also like how there's the Gengar and Haunter in the background on the original Scream painting. There's two figures in the background and the Scream figure in the foreground. Also, you have Sableye here climbing up on the railing. And I should mention these are all PSA 10. This is actually a 666 cert. There you go. The 666 Psyduck got a little bit of extra dread there. But these will actually go up on eBay. This is going to be the eBay set. I have my own personal set. But I should touch on the great ability. I was surprised by the off-centering and whitening on some of these cards. Normally on new backs, they're basically Kevlar, and you expect probably a 90-10 ratio, 90% being 10s, and then 10% being 9s. That's a confusion right there, but normally that's the ratio you'd expect, as majority of these are going to be 9s. Where in my experience, I would say it's maybe 70-30. I had a decent amount of 9s come back, and it was more than I expected. And again, it's because they're handed out raw in person, so there's a higher probability of some type of damage. But at the end of the day, you're still talking, a new back promo. So that is the Psyduck card. We'll move on to the second in line, which is Eevee. And you might notice that Psyduck is here in the background. So not only do you have this quality crossover design, you also have this theme throughout where the previous card is in the background. So Psyduck is in the background of Eevee, Eevee in the background of Pikachu, Pikachu in the background of Mimikyu, and then Mimikyu in the background of Rowlet. So Eevee is definitely going to be one of those fan favorite species. There are so many Eevee collectors out there who just collect everything Eevee. There's a reason why Pokemon Let's Go had the Let's Go Pikachu option and then Let's Go Eevee option. This has been a very popular Pokemon from the jump. Also, I should mention Eevee, Psyduck, and Rowlet had the same release. In order to obtain this card, you had to go to the Pokemon Center during the campaign, purchase 2 booster packs, and then you receive this card. For those who don't understand what a Pokemon Center is, they are strictly in Japan. That hybrid Nintendo store that you see in the US is not affiliated. These cards were never released there. They were only released in Japan during that campaign, which is now ended. And then moving on to definitely the most popular Pokemon, we got the Scream Pikachu card. Now, the Scream Pikachu card was interesting. This was the last to be released out of the 5, and a lot of people were banking on this being the rarest. So one of those two things is true. This was the last to be released, but it's not the rarest. As it currently stands, it is not the rarest, or at least it's not the scarcest. So this one was available for purchase for anyone who went to the retrospective installation. Is that the right word? Exhibit. There we go. Exhibit is a better word, more accurate. So the people who went to the exhibit were able to purchase this, and it was limited to 1 per person. However, this is not the rarest or scarcest card on the market. It's actually Mimikyu, which was the first available for purchase. So this was available at the Pokemon Center, and it's a bit counterintuitive because when you think, okay, it's available for purchase at the Pokemon Center, why is it the rarest? Initially, people thought you could buy this. You purchase it, and it came with a file. That's what Japanese refer to as just like a mini binder. And initially, people thought every 24 hours, I could get a new one. The next day, I could just go get another copy. It's limited to 1 account, 1 person total. So if you have 1 account, you can only buy 1 of these. And the Japanese don't play. They don't play with that. When they say 1 account, they mean one account. So unless you are maybe the designer of this card, you could only purchase one at the Pokemon Center. So therefore, this one has already shot up in price. I think initially retail on, like, let's say eBay open market, it was maybe like 20 to 30 bucks, and now it's gone to maybe 100 or above. So this one has fallen off in availability the fastest out of all 5. And then last we have Rowlet finishing off the set. There you can see Mimikyu in the background. And again, this was released the same way as the Eevee and the Psyduck. You had to purchase 2 packs at the Pokemon Center during that campaign, and you got the Rowlet card. And now moving into some of the other modern Japanese promos. We're going to start off with the Yokohama release. This one was actually released at the reopening of the Yokohama Pokemon Center in Japan. Had this nice little Sailor Pikachu design going on. What's cool about this is you had this one released, and then also this one was for purchase through... Oh, sorry, this is the one that was released. Getting it twisted here. This is the one that was released at the Pokemon Center and handed out to you. This is the one that was available in the box. So you see those boxes in the background for Mario Pikachu. Very similar, except this one had that sailor design at the Yokohama Pokemon Center. Here's another one that was available in that Pokemon Center box as well. Again, just showcasing that, keeping that design going. And it's funny because this right here, this Poncho Pikachu / Pokemon Center Pikachu card concept has really been a nice, just consistent, I don't even know, concept that's continued throughout Pokemon. So you had this, which was already an A+, and then you had the Scream design. There's just so much out there for the modern Japanese promo collector. And then moving into the next, I would say, batch of cards that I have here that I want to showcase are going to be the Victory Medals. We have the 2005 Victory Medal on the right, which is silver. Then we have the 2007 gold on the left. These are definitely the oldest in the bunch that I'm going to show you. I really like how the hollow design is just on the medal itself. But these were given to the, I would say, the gold and silver winners or place at the gym challenge. And then I'm about to show you probably the most popular Victory Medals. In fact, let me get some stands here to put all 3 of these together so you can appreciate them together. I would say these are probably the most economical gold, silver, and bronze options in Pokemon. I think people who buy these, they know it's going to be the most bang for your buck if you're trying to get something that looks like the number 1, 2, 3 trainers, whether that's in Worlds or the original Japanese trainers. But you have the gold, silver, and bronze release. Also, it has that gold writing here for the winner of the Pokemon game. And I just love how they have all 3. I remember when these were released. I remember when the 2007 was released. I was like, where is the third option? Why is there only a gold and silver? So they finally delivered and have gold, silver, and bronze. But there you go. These are also Japanese exclusive. They were never released in English. And they have that heart, gold, soul, silver border layout. This was that design before where it's white. And you can see it has that silver gold mixture going on. So this was during that 2009, 2010 heart, gold, soul, silver era. And then next is going to be the OG of Poncho Pikachus. I remember when this guy dropped, there was this in a plush. And it just blew up overnight. Everybody won this card. I think in PSA 10, I've probably sold like 15 to 20 of these. Anywhere from like $50 to $100 at its peak. So you have an item here that was the first Poncho Pikachu released at the Mega Tokyo Pokemon Center opening. It has Charizard and Pikachu in the same freaking card. So there you go. And then moving on to another Poncho release. This one, I don't actually remember the specifics on this one, but this is another one of those in line where you had that that campaign where they did another design. This is when the Mega Pokemon were initially introduced. Like you had Burrito Slowbro over here, and then the Mega Lucario. But yeah, it's just another one of those early Poncho Pikachu releases. And then you have one that's very modern. This is going to be in the SMP promos. So you have the Rowlet, which was for that reopening of the Pokemon Center. Very similar to the Yokohama one, except you have this different design with Rowlet. And I think that's each Pokemon Center has its own little Pokemon. Let me try to zoom in on that. Each stamp or each emblem has its own Pokemon that represent it. So Rowlet is the one for this Pokemon Center. That's why you see it present on the card. And then we have a friendly, this is the friendly promo. It's the friendly Pikachu with the donut, and then you have the sad crying Cubone there. This one was given out, I think, when you purchase 1,500 yen of product at a Pokemon friendly shop, you received this card. There's also PSA 10. You have Hoopa in the background there. I think that's for Ozenigma. There's a couple Hoopa collectors out there. Ozenigma is the one that comes to mind. And then last but not least, we have the Easter Pikachu. Easter Pikachu actually is interesting. For example, you can buy, let's say, the Rowlet Pikachu for significantly less than the Easter. So the Easter has a bit of a premium even for an ungraded copy. And that's because during this campaign, it ran for a couple weeks in 2017, I believe March to April. And you had to purchase 5 packs, but instead of getting the card directly, they gave you an egg. And inside that egg, you could get 1 of 4 cards. So this was 1 of 4 and definitely the most popular, the most desirable card. Of course, it's Pikachu. It actually has an Easter design. It's kind of got like that Pokekayun style going on. It's got that stamp right there. So at the end of the day, this is, I would say, a little bit above something like that Rowlet that I just showed you or some of the ponchos, because the cost is going to be higher on the ground floor in Japan because it had that randomness to it. It had that lottery element to it, so you weren't guaranteed the card with the 5-pack purchase. So there you go. That is all I have for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the Scream promos. You know, just try to give you one more shot here to see all of them together. They are just some of the most attractive cards in the game. I mean, the concept is so successful that I've seen these cards on the front page of Reddit. Very similar to Mario Pikachu. I think they're going to go above and beyond the series Pokemon collectors. They're going to hit people who just see this and are like, you know what? I want these cards. Just these cards because they look so good. So there you go, guys. As usual, let me know your thoughts, and that's pretty much it. Until next time.